All right, testing. Hopefully this is working well. There's always a delay every time I say anything, so this would turn into a sensational time with puns of What? Okay then. I'm guessing you guys are referencing Sans because a freaking Nintendo Direct. Da 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 da.
That's the Sand song.
Oh, the Megalovania thing. You know, every time I hear that melody, I think of that opening riff from Cream's "Sunshine in Your Love."
Oh yeah.
I don't know if any of you know who that band Cream is. It's a '60s band. Sans costume for Smash Ultimate. Yeah, that's where it was announced. John's Son Games Go Commit Not a Lot. That's supposed to be Solar to say that. Then again, I also say it, so who am I to judge? Animated free. Okay, Golden Fox. How goes it? It goes good. So what are you making?
Oh, warming up some pizza.
Ah, pizza for breakfast.
Yes, breakfast of champions.
What's on the toppings? Bacon?
It's just pepperoni.
Okay. It would have been hilarious if it was like bacon on pizza. Like, yeah, because bacon
Yeah,
is also.
that would check out. I could actually say it's breakfast because it would have bacon.
So, yeah, that was Kichi having her breakfast, and now she's going back into her habitat. So anyway, sorry for the little wait right there. So yeah, for the first time, I decided to host on my secondary YouTube channel. I'm not going to do this very often. I'm pretty much going to do this for whenever I do editing streams. So hope everybody's doing well. I should give a little update on what is currently going on. Um, Obviously, yesterday, as at the time of when this is being streamed, um, I did not do a gaming stream like I normally do every Friday because the first of which my gamepad for some reason started to I to me I think it's busted. For like the buttons are not very functional anymore. There's some weird issues that are all over the place. Um, Personally, I'm not too worried about it. I just have to get a new gamepad, and they're fairly cheap. They're like $20 or something like that. But until then, I'm going to be dealing with no controller for a while, and hopefully it shouldn't take too long. And whenever I do get a new controller, um, I'm going to get started on Freedom Planet as one of the subscriber milestones. So I'm going to go ahead and just transition over to here. So this is the current updated layout that I have here. I'm currently working on my review of the beginning of the end. This was in the works forever at this point, like ever since season one started. Like I kept running into writer's block after writer's block, And even though there's a lot to talk about, I'm one of those people who, whenever I'm writing a script, I like to articulate my words um, in a way that doesn't seem like, okay, so let's talk about this, or this is my review of this. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Um, but also make it very well informative. That's something where that's mostly me going on the levels of being a perfectionist with everything that I do. So um, I managed to get that down, and I give a special thanks to Myth Pony for help fixing any grammar issues. And I finally got it recorded. Um, Obviously, as I'm working on this, the series finale has already aired somewhere in Australia and the Netherlands, which, from what I've heard, it was an accident. But in any case, I'm trying to avoid any potential spoilers that will be thrown at me. I mean, I've only seen like one pick or two, and I do not want to see any more of it. I even added a disclaimer in this video here. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna open that up and let's see if I can move here. There might be a slight lag after excuse me, a slight lag after the you know, considering that I'm streaming and everything. So I got this little editor's note, and yeah, I am going to admit it's taken it to an extreme measure. But whenever this video's up, please don't tell me any spoilers. I will start removing comments, and if it still proceeds, then yeah, I'm going to temporarily start blocking because obviously I'm not going to do much justice if people are going to continue doing the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah, no, spoilers. I mean, this is especially important for the series finale. Um, Now, obviously, as this little disclaimer is up, I don't expect it to be up there the whole time when it's when it's live on YouTube because there is a feature where you can legitimately like edit your videos on the website itself, and you can actually crop out some portions, and I can just crop out that disclaimer afterwards. But this is going to be there until the series finale airs. You know. So yeah, for the first time, you guys get to see me work on an MLP review, and I was always nervous doing this beforehand because I didn't want to risk giving out any spoilers of what my thoughts are. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't have a clear explanation over it. MLP reviews are something that a lot of people look forward to the most. Like on my channel, whenever it came to uploading any content, MLP reviews have been the ones that get the most views. I mean, they sell like hotcakes. And despite the fact that the show is ending, people still love watching it. I do at some point plan to bridge onto other material out there. I mean, for instance, I did that Lion King review, and I'm still working on Lion King 2, which is taking longer than it should. I've been behind on a lot of things, highlight reels, more of like I haven't gotten around to making any Golden Key videos. Like there's some ideas written down. Um, I'm not going to say it's a burnout, but there are some things in which motivation has been kicking my ass, like right up the teeth. And by this point, I think you can kind of piece it together. So, I'm going to go ahead and continue working with whatever clips that I have here. So, as you see here, um, there's the background, there's some of the footage that would be either in this corner here, or it would just be up front. What shot is that? Okay, yeah. Because what I kind of do is kind of based off of the line of what Bob Ross used to say, layer after layer after layer. And I discovered this technique when I was working on the heartwarming episodes. It helped me sped up and produce them much faster, despite, how long it takes to work on these videos. Because there's a lot to work with when it comes to making MLP reviews. There's shot after shot after shot after shot. And yeah, there's a facepalm there. Shot after shot. Shot. Sorry about that. The last thing I do is I just work with the OC. So as the stream is going by, there's a good chance you may not be able to see it. I am almost done getting all the footage down here. So this is the entire timeline, as you can see around here, there's the logo opening, and oh wait, that's my Patreon shout out. I've been a little behind on Patreon shout outs, which is not very good on my end, but at least I'm taking care of it. At some point, there's already like another MLP audio review that I'm working on where the audio was already recorded. It's been around for a while, and the sooner I get it done, the sooner I can actually take care of my August patrons. So that way they get their money's worth, and people don't fall I don't fall behind, and everybody else won't feel like they're being ripped off when they're supporting me on Patreon. So. Mysterio Rosa, can you please not give any spoilers? So can we still make pony fan art of ERC when the show finishes? Sure, you can still do that. I personally have no problem with that. At some point, I am going to have to create a much more original OC than a pony OC. Um, I mean, it's actually kind of difficult because I really enjoy the design of my OC. Kind of egotistic mentioning that, but I really love how adorable I make him. And kind of giving out a little bit of like some detail based off of Twink's special sun pony from Lightning Bliss. The idea behind Twink having a crush on my character is because it's supposed to be a way of showing that she really likes the design of my OC. I think some of you may have heard that before. I don't know exactly. I'm stalling too long. Let's see what I got here. After taking a blast. Okay, I know what shot to use here. Not here. Yeah, this part is going to take a little longer than usual. Because every time I'm streaming, there's a lot of CPU going on, so there's a good chance there would be a little bit of a lag. Is a different avatar for a non-pony content? Like I said, I've been thinking about it. I haven't set anything in stone yet. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that. There are times when I want to show myself on camera and make use of the actual camera. All right. I think I might have found the shot. Let me move this coffee out of the way. Got a mug of coffee and some Pop-Tarts. Yeah, that's like the lowest. That's the lowest thing to have for a for breakfast. You're gonna hear some sound. Can't hear shit. I mean, I can't see shit. I can hear it. I think this might work. Wait, what did I just do? God damn it. Okay, I didn't copy anything. I won't say, and it's Rosaria, break my name down before saying it. It's Russ, so easier to say. Should I not have changed my name? Try not to make too big of a deal out of it. They're taking a blast. All right. Now, yeah, I think that's a good enough shot right here. After taking a blast. Actually, let me move this a little further. I want to create something that's a little in between these two shots. Something that can drive me crazy. After taking a blast. In the moment, it's suspenseful, considering that Twilight relied on him so... You know what? I can go ahead and just use the rest of that clip and... continue from there. One of the things that drives me nuts personally is that when using certain clips, whenever it's ready to go to the next clip based on the narration, there's like one shot that changes and it looks so tacky, you know? So, and it's a little challenging because you want to make sure that you have it in a legit amount of time, or you otherwise have to come to some form of compromise. and make it work. In the moment, it's suspenseful considering that Twilight relied on him so much instead of herself and her friends, which he was disappointed about before... Alright, let's... so much instead of herself and her friends, which he was disappointed about. Alright, okay, so there's only a few shots here that... friends, which he was disappointed about before taking the hit. Which he was disappointed... Right, because Discord did say that.
Because friendship wins? Although Fluttershy should get most of the
Alright, let's go to an earlier shot.
Well, I guess it's on me to be the MVP today.
There we go. Alright. Let's kind of copy that clip. So, how I edit footage is that I use two separate active files from Sony Vegas, so that way I can actually like find footage faster and import it into this file. I apologize for blowing up in the chat, but everyone screwed up my last name. Rosaria, it's fine. This missing frames will kill a man if they take notice. Which he was disappointed about before taking the hit. That's an up-close shot here. Before entering Canterlot, they're confronted by the local folks who are possessed and guarding the entrance. Alright. This is actually going to be one of my negative criticisms here. Do you ever slow the footage that's too fast for the sake of syncing with your narration? I try to avoid doing that because something about that doesn't feel right. That's really just personal preference.
Lord, what are you doing here?
One thing that confuses me with the main six is their relationship with Discord. With the exception of Fluttershy, do you actually like him or just put up with him? I actually enjoy Discord's character. I did not enjoy him in Matter of Principles. That episode was complete garbage. Isn't criticism negative by definition? Not necessarily. Criticism, the definition says it's supposed to be a judgment of some kind. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and look up the definition. Because I want to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. The act of criticizing. Well, okay. I really hate that. You know, you have, like, when you look up a certain term and you actually have to find the actual derivative of the term. It's kind of annoying to act as a critic. Alright, let's open up the page. Stop taking too long. To find fault with, or to judge the merits and faults of, analyze and evaluate. These verbs are meant to express unfavorable judgment. What? Criticizer? Oh. So apparently criticizer is a term. Criticizable? Alright then. Criticize can mean merely to evaluate without necessarily finding fault. However, usually the word implies the expression of disapproval, formed of a panel to criticize students' works, was angry when his parents criticized the way he dressed. Okay. Censure refers to the often formal pronouncement of the strong criticism. To judge something with disapproval, to evaluate or analyze. Okay, I agree with the second definition, but the first one, you kind of wonder why people take offense very easily or why taking criticism is difficult. It seems like that kind of definition is embedded into our skulls in our society. You know, Rosaria, I actually do have something that I would have suggested for this, premiere. That's right, the season 9 premiere. Okay, that episode, Matter of Principles, is literally the only episode that made me legit angry upon first viewing, and it gets worse with each rewatch. Yeah, nope, I can't argue with that. It was garbage. I don't need, there we go, on this timeline. Before entering Canterlot, they're confronted by the local folks who are possessed and guarding the entrance. At most, it's an Alright, I think I may need to cut this portion down. Let's see. Folks who are possessed and guarding the entrance. At most, it's an intense... You know what? I think that clip is fine. I just activated the window that shows the stream itself. I always feel the need to have those. Alright, so I have 15 people watching right now. Alright, that's pretty cool. Let's look for another clip. I'm muted only to be one to enjoy that. Ugh, okay. I'm honestly in a state with the book. I'm working on where I actually speak out criticism as pointing out what's wrong with my chapters because 95% of the comments I get are, it's good. I need to focus more. One. For some reason, when I'm on the second, No, damn it. I don't need that open. Yeah, just go ahead and close that. Garbage is an understatement, in my opinion. It is, how do I put it in a nice way, a giant piece of bullshit.
Hey, Pet!
At most, it's an intense and difficult commitment as they're acquainted very closely. This would have been written better if Twilight... Alright, here comes the first negative criticism that I have there. And yes, I'm going to say negative criticism because I don't think criticism is, in its entire definition relies on just negative stuff to point out. Because criticism also refers to what you're analyzing, and what you're analyzing can also mean something good. You know? Actually, let me see if I can, No, wait, let's rewind a bit. Alright. I should split this in 2 parts. Actually, I think criticism is kind of, shall we say, skewed these days. Like, I don't know how to say it, but I guess it's become too negative. In hindsight, criticism is not too different from analyzing. At most, it's an intense and difficult commitment as they're acquainted very closely. Oh, let's see if. All right, let me close that down. There we go. All right, perfect shot right there.
Gotcha!
Can't play the clips too much because I don't want to risk spoiling. Not spoiling. You guys have already seen this, though. Copyright claim. You know, that kind of shit. Alright, yeah. This part actually irritated me. Hang on, once I get to it. This would have been written better if Twilight didn't teleport into the castle. This would have been written better if Twilight didn't teleport into the castle. You mean to tell me that she could have done that the whole time? I think I could just use this clip from here. Regardless of the circumstances of the Canterlot folks, what was even the point of holding them back then? Who else wanted Sombra to be reformed? Honestly, I'm tired of the Reformation shit. They do too much of it. Here's an unpopular opinion about this episode. I actually enjoyed Sombra in this one. Copyright, one of the few things that's holding me back from making videos. Animated Free, do not hold back from that. You know what that's called? It's called the scare tactic. That's you submitting to the people who take advantage of the Content ID system.
Oh, here! We promise we'll let y'all.
Let's wind a little back further.
Okay, guess we need a different plan. Twilight?
Fast forwarding. Alright, so fast forwarding. Here we go. Here's a good shot. This'll work. What was even the point of holding them back then? What was to be gained out of facing them if teleportation was an option? Something that was... For instance, in Swarm of the Century... Alright, this is where I had to use other episodes, because sometimes I'll have to do that to prove a point. I don't need that right now. Kind of when Tempest and Caper to be the finale. Who wants that? From what I've read, not read up, but from what I've been hearing, the actress who is the voice of Tempest Shadow she's too expensive to have in the show. For some reason, I keep forgetting her name. I don't remember what it was. Where are you? There we go. Episode roster. Alright, so. Two. And. Emily Blunt, that's who it was. Emily Blunt is too expensive to have in the show. That's why you didn't see her return again. Don't need that at the moment. Alright, let's look. Here we are. Alright, so there's a clip where...
I don't have time for some silly scavenger hunt. Oh no! They're messing up all my hard work!
Out of the 7 or 8, I think Starlight's Reformation was the stronger, so at least that's the most interesting case. The worst... Reformation are by far the worst thing about the show for me. Letting villains get away with little to no consequences is a terrible message to be sent out. Even before the Reformation of Starlight, there's been a lot of issues with that. Like, back in Season 3, like, Trixie was very quickly forgiven before she runs off. You know, she took over an entire town. Oh, wait, I skipped over too much. Alright. Let's use the last bit of this shot. Oh, I also need to... Something that's always irritating whenever it comes to using Vegas is that every time I import a clip, I have to right-click on the timeline and make sure that I call it quote-unquote disabling the resampling, because otherwise the footage gets very interlaced. No, this timeline. Move it here. Alright, Alexander. I mean, they could always find existing voice actors to do Tempest. I mean, they did it with Transformers G1, Season 3 with Frank Welker, did the voice of Galvatron in place of Leonard Nimoy. That's a fair reason, you know, that's a fair assessment. But then again, people also complain about using different voice actors to imitate the prior actors. Like, for instance, with the Aladdin show, I don't mind it, but some people took issue. Instead of having Robin Williams for the genie, they had Dan Castellaneta, who was Homer Simpson, which, even as a kid, like, I didn't take that big of an issue, because as long as I recognize the genie, I recognize the genie. But some people took issue with, like, no, it's got to be Robin Williams. It's got to be this actor. And rah! You know, some people are very picky like that. Zoom in a bit. For instance, in Swarm of the Century, Twilight tried to reverse the Parasprite's hunger, and that didn't work well. Or it's hunger, and that it's hunger. No, it's hunger. Damn it. For instance, in Swarm of the Century, Twilight tried to reverse the Parasprite's hunger, and that... Yeah, and this is the part where one of the Parasprites ate it was like a bucket or something.
Look! Tambourines! If you could all just...
You know, Pinky, you can explain that playing the instruments will distract the parasprites. That's one major issue that I had with that episode, is that she was not very communicative. So, open wide. No one complained when Jim Cummings took over Paul Witchell for Tigger. Well, like I said, like I didn't have an issue with replacing actors, voice actors, you know, because of budget reasons. But some people do that. Some people fuss about, you know, not having the original actor for anything. And to a degree, yeah, I think it's kind of stupid and closed-minded. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's a reason behind, you know, what Hasbro or DHX, whichever one their intentions were.
Well, or the same effect with a...
Alright, I think I'm done with Swarm of the Century. And I think the next one I was talking about bats. That's because Jim Cummings' impression of Tigger is especially too poo. Wow, I can't read for shit. That's because Jim Cummings' impression of Tigger and especially Pooh was spot on. And I will give you that. Jim Cummings is he's very talented in what he can voice act. Time to use a clip from an episode in which... Oh, there's the hazmat scene. Oh, wait. There we go. Good shot right there. People will always be pissy and upset about something. It's sad, really. Yeah, that is an unfortunate reality.
Or the same effect with a vampire bats or undoing the chaos in Return of Harmony.
Okay. Alright, so I'm done with bats.
Cotton candy? You did.
Chocolate rain.
Getting soaked by a major cola storm right now. But don't worry, I'm not leaving.
Popcorn. The weird shit that happens. Do. Oh, that was a good shot right there. They play all that bright, happy music when she's performing the spell, and Linda realized, oh, it didn't do shit. What's a good free alternative to Windows Movie Maker since it's no longer available for download? I don't know. After Rob Paulson, he's one of my favorite VAs. Did something happen with Rob Paulson? Or maybe it was just a choice of words, I don't know.
Or undoing the chaos in Return of Harmony. This was a moral motivation to the viewer.
God damn it. No, you, get down there.
This was a moral motivation to the viewer that despite having a fantasy-based world, problems cannot be solved with the snap of a finger. Problems...
There we go.
Moral motivation to the viewer that despite having a fantasy-based world, problems cannot...
I hate that shit.
...world... ...problem...
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be too worried about it. I feel like I shouldn't have removed Swarm of the Century just yet. So you would say both Cummings and Poulsen are on the same level as excellent voice actors. I'm not going to compare which voice actor was stronger than one another, because they're, you know, it's like comparing apples and oranges. You know, their talent over one sort of character and another. Has anyone actually done that? The totem pole for best voice actress? I wouldn't really want to do that.
This was brilliant, but in this episode, knowing that it's all about using any options you... This was a moral motivation to the viewer that despite having a fantasy-based world, problems cannot be solved with the snap of a finger. This was brilliant, but in this episode...
Oh, god damn it. It's the one last-minute shot.
Problems cannot be solved.
That doesn't work either. God damn it.
But in this episode, knowing that it's all about... But in this...
Okay, let's see how that looks.
Problems cannot be solved with the snap of a finger. This was brilliant, but in this episode, knowing that it's all about...
There we go. Undo that. I don't need this little red thing. I don't know what the fuck that is. Uh-oh. Who hasn't heard of Mel Blanc? Dr. Man of 1,000 Voices himself. Yeah. I think I shared this trivia before, but when I was reviewing Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I mentioned that Mel Blanc, for Bugs Bunny, that was his last role before he passed on.
In a fantasy-based world, problems cannot be solved with the snap of a finger. This was a...
Let me see if I can fix that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not quite yet.
World, problems cannot be solved. This was a moral motive.
Yeah, that's gonna be noticeably loop right there.
Or undoing the chaos in Return of Harmon.
Yeah.
Of harmony. This was a moral motivation to the viewer that despite having a fantasy-based world, problems cannot be solved with the snap of a finger. This was brilliant, but in this episode, knowing that it's all about using any options you have, you're just gonna have Twilight skip an obstacle? Are you fucking kidding me?
Alright, this is going to get a little repetitive on this clip here, but it's to prove a point.
But in this episode, knowing that it's all about using any options you have,
Hang on.
you're just gonna have Twilight skip an obstacle? Are you... But in this episode, knowing that it's all about using any options you have, you're just gonna have Twilight skip an obstacle? Are you fucking kidding me? I get that they wanted to help everyone else break out of Sombra's spell, but this was part of facing them to get into the entrance the whole time. Nope, screw that. Let's just teleport past that like a Konami cheat code.
Birch, you're probably going to like that. Unless you're Discord. And that, okay, Dashcam, relying on Discord was actually part of, like, it was an integral part of Twilight trying to find other shortcuts around. Like, that was actually much more played in instead of just, oh, I could just teleport the whole time. Because that also undermines the tension of what she was confronted with. But I also have an issue with Discord in that in the episode. We'll be getting to that in a bit. What clip should I find here?
Nope, screw that. Let's just teleport past that like a Konami cheat code.
Am I gonna have to reuse this clip over and over and over again? Always the cheat code method. Actually, I don't know. Should I just leave that blank? Because afterwards, there's a block of text that refers to the cheat code reference, the Konami cheat code. I'm just gonna go ahead and play it.
Nope, screw that. Let's just teleport past that like a Konami cheat code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, and A. Dude, that code is over 30 years old. Of course I remember it. Everybody does.
I don't know if I should put in a clip here or not. Because, okay, so I'm in a bit of a snag. Because I don't want to repeat using the clips here. But I don't want to just leave this blank only for the wall of text to pop up. I forgot start. I don't know why, but the last comment ended up with a question mark. Whoops. I'm gonna have to look this up. Jesus Christ, stop lagging. Sad thing is, I never heard of the Konami cheat code until the end of middle school. Did the numbers at the bottom right of screen represent your subscribers? Oh, yeah, no, I didn't talk about that. The numbers for the two different channels, that's for the sub count. It's really there just for filler because I don't want to leave anything blank. Search it up. I pressed enter. What the hell? Oh, fuck! I did forget start. Great. Now I gotta figure out some alternative to this. Probably just take that joke out. The fun fact, if you enter the Konami cheat code in Gradius 3 as it was, it starts your ship to self-destruct. Yeah.
Nope, screw that. Let's just teleport past that like a Konami cheat code. Up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of this. The ship to use self-destruct.
Up, up, down, down.
Yep.
Additionally, Discord faked his injury, which...
Oh yeah, that's right. This is needed. You could always keep the visual description of the cheat code in. It was supposed to be an earth-shattering. After a ping? Let's do all this shit.
Up, up, down, down.
No, god damn it. I didn't mean to do that. Then again, Firefox is slow as hell. Oh, Alexander Hart, I too hated it. That's going to be my next part of the criticism that I'll be editing. Chrome, open up. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell like that. Johnson Games, I get the idea that it's a combination of Loki and the Joker, but having him fake his injury completely undermines and makes the scene where he gives a speech to the main six incredibly shallow. And it would have worked better if they had suggested him to have some obstacles to overcome instead of just making him this OP character, because there's no tension behind that. Oh, DWK made one. He made one of those videos about the beginning to the end. I have to take a look at it at some point. I can't at the moment. What was I gonna look up? Let's see, Konami cheat code. Golden Fox used shout out. It wasn't effective. Oh, it's shout. Whoops. Golden Fox used shout. It wasn't effective. I mean, if I wanted to, I could have. Okay, so I look up on this page, and it just says up, up, down, down, left, right, and B and A. It doesn't include the start. Stop with the what? Jokes of Pokemon. John, you're completely fine. Huh. That's interesting. Because there's another page that shows the combination, but it doesn't show start. No, seriously, like, let me see if I can link it. Copy link address, and let's go ahead and paste it here. I know, it's weird. Well, let's see. All right, let's see if I can download that. Don't fucking lag on me. Don't fucking lag on. Hey. Open up the folder, please. Come on. I need to find a location where I can save this picture. Wow, Alexander, tell us how you really feel. God, look at that. I hate Discord so much. Emphasis on so. Yeah, I'm going to continue using the Konami cheat code. If the damn thing responded. I hate, I'm John. Okay, that's pretty funny. MLP reviews. Everyone has that one character. Oh, for me, it's a tie between Angel Bunny and Diamond Tiara. And yes, even after she was reformed, I still can't stand Diamond Tiara. D-Birds, don't feel dumb, because I also looked up the, because I also Googled the Konami cheat code, and sometimes they include the start, sometimes they don't, so... He does whatever he can do to become the center of attention of faking illnesses to this. Well, to be fair, Alex, at the end of Three's a Crowd, he actually did get legit karma. He became sick after that. Are you serious? What the fuck? Ugh. Okay, is there another way to find this picture? I just noticed there was the shot of the cheat code on the napkin, and I remember that shot. It's from what was it? Wreck-It Ralph. Fucking Turbo's got it written on a napkin. This'll do. Nobody likes Angel Bunny. Fluttershy keeps him around because he's the OOC to her throne, to the damn creature. Discord used fake out. It was very effective. Critical hit. I could not, like, I can't think of that with a straight face. Come on. But 2 or 3 come close. Alright, Animated Freak, share that to the class.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, and A. This was part of facing them to get into the entrance the whole time. Nope, screw that, let's just teleport past that like a Konami cheat code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B and A.
For me, I don't see it. Okay, that's the part where they have that wall of text. See, Big Jim once said on his Twitter that the reason nothing was done with Diamond Tiara after Reformation was because Hasbro couldn't allow it. I would like a can you link me the tweet? Because if that's really the reason, that just shows how careless Hasbro is. Welcome to Re. I'm looking over these different scripts. Where's we got the beginning to the end. I jump right in for a gaming joke. Hi, Jesse. Might put some people out. Animated Freak, there are some unpopular opinions that I have. Feel free to share it. What has been your favorite review to make? I would pretty much have to say the, what's it called? The Best Gift Ever. Because that was done in like a very short amount of time, and it came out really well. Like, I wasn't sure how to make it work. I just, like, did it. Maybe it's because of the fact that I was making progress. I don't know. But there's also, like, how I managed to make it so emotional in a short amount of time. It had you as a cute dir. Yeah, wearing the reindeer get up. Thinking about it, will season 3 be forever the shortest season of the show? Yeah, pretty much. I still remember that when that was a thing. I was like, why the hell is there 13 episodes in that one? Talk about like serious inconsistencies. There it is. Alright, now let's make it bigger. Oh, whoa, whoa, too much. There we go. Okay.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, B and A. Dude, that code is over 30 years old. Of course I remember it. Everybody does. Additionally, Discord faked his injury, which completely cheated the audience.
Twilight's not taking over? This was all for nothing? I pretended to be very hurt and gave one of the most convincing speeches of my...
Pretended?
Of course, you don't think some would-be king could actually be the Lord of Chaos, do you?
This makes his speech and the weight behind it completely hollow.
Oh, I'm gonna stir up some people when I say that. hate but come close to see Trixie, Discord, and Cozy Glow. Who is the coolest left me legit hating? I don't know why she gets me. I still think what could have done is still have the first half used as the later half of season 3 and 13 episodes focused on the games. I'm not going to try to get into that argument because I know that every time we talk, like any of us talk about the Equestria games, because you knew how controversial that was. This actually...
This makes his speech and the weight behind it completely hollow. Grant...
Yeah, you know what? It's not a very good clip to use. Wait, there we go.
Applejack, you will always...
Okay. This is actually an effective, Oh, it's so cute! That shot right there. Oh. That's right, I'm using the other, Let me just go ahead and copy and paste the footage right here, and there you go. Fluttershy getting her face rubbed.
This makes his speech and the weight behind it completely hollow. Granted, it was a good...
Let's move it here.
Granted, it was a good...
Discord's right. We've proven time and time again that the real magic is the 6 of us working together. With these girls by my side, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of what you can do.
Okay, this'll do. This clip will work. Alex, you're fine. You're voicing your opinion, and you're expressing your dislike for Discord. Multiple times I've expressed my dislike for Diamond Tiara, and multiple times I've expressed a dislike for Kingdom Hearts.
Granted, it was a good push for Twilight, but if Discord was legitimately hurt and was able to recover, it would even challenge him. But if Discord was... Granted, it was a good push for Twilight, but if...
Not even the Lord of Chaos. I am truly the most...
Discord! Discord!
There we go. I can easily see why you dislike it. Alright. Hey Jesse, if I can give you a suggestion for your YouTube channel, aside from your daughter's birthday, show some work in progress of any plushies you work on. That's if you have a camera. I don't know if you have anything to record a camera with. That's just a suggestion.
But if Discord was legitimately hurt and was able to recover, it would even challenge his character. It would suggest how he has limitations to face instead of being this almighty Lord of Chaos. I guess he had his own Konami cheat code. This, and seeing her teleport in the cat...
I guess he also had his Konami cheat code. Mostly because I'm autistic. Okay, Alex, you're also talking to somebody who's also autistic or has Asperger's. I'm stuck between the two. I don't let disabilities take over anything. You know, if it's a problem that can be worked on. I'm not going to get into further detail than that, but just remember that even though you are autistic, if you're able to communicate and talk with people, it's also just as effective to learn the trial and error of your social cues. I'm going to leave it as that. Meanwhile, fucking John over there is using more references of Pokemon. Let's see.
Throughout the whole two-parter, Twilight neglected to have the princesses help confront Sombra.
Alright. I'm gonna need to lower the volume off of that.
Sombra, fearing that she wouldn't prove herself to be as everybody does. Additionally, all the while worrying about what will happen to their loved ones possessed by him. Twilight, however, doesn't give up. She instead digs her way out, as it is her only option. She doesn't have anything planned, but it plays up in doing whatever it takes, and her friends help out.
Normally, I wouldn't dream of digging.
Okay, I don't care what anybody says. I'm glad that I edited this in.
Normally, I wouldn't dream of digging, but right now, show me the money.
You know, if it would actually play smoothly.
Now, show me the money. The money.
Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money! What you gonna do, Jerry? Show me the money!
What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, that's right. Let's go ahead and rewind this to part 1. Or maybe...
But when she's ready.
How can she not be ready? What? The most convincing speeches of my...
Pretended? Oh, thank goodness.
Leader.
We'll be much better than...
See, speaking of videos, my sister had an idea for a video to make. It'd be a list of sorts of Lion King behind the act facts. Think you would be interested in that. I'll think it over.
How dangerous it was. A good leader...
I see you've made yourselves at home.
Celestia, Luna, I know what you're gonna say.
Okay, this is a good shot right here. Or clip, I should say. A good shot to clip. Nah. Show me the money! Looks like some pony's addicted to...
Throughout the whole two-parter, Twilight neglected to have the princesses help confront Sombra, fearing that she wouldn't prove herself to be as good of a leader. Regardless of the episode's shortcomings, it is arguably redeemed as she owns up to her decisions, showing that she isn't entirely ready yet. This was a mistake the sisters made, thinking she's...
You know what? This clip is actually more effective for that one. Because I know that there's a scene earlier where... Let's go ahead and...
I'll feel much better once you make a plan.
Other people. Oh. Sorry, I misread that message. Did you ever manage to get hyper beaming? Yeah. Birch? You can kind of thank Solar Flare for that. I'm not going to say anything else. But it was quite a hilarious thing of what we had to do. The hell just happened? No, get rid of those things. I don't know what that red mark is supposed to be.
We just know you have a process.
Stage 1, you get big news, and you're like, no! But then you pace, and you chart.
I love how Dash explains it. You're like, no! Save. Everything lagged up. It froze up. Is everything okay? Did something happen? What the fuck? Oh. Great. Stream come up, yeah. That's the last thing I needed to see. I seriously hope this doesn't turn into like 2 portions of a video. How long have I been streaming for? An hour and a half. That's fine.
You thought you'd
Okay, that's part 2.
Does this mean?
I still don't feel like...
I got disconnected. That's what happened, Mighty Kirk. Oh, Dirk. Sorry. Mighty Dirk. I got disconnected.
chances.
She's got a point.
Ugh, fine.
My family is in danger. I'm not taking any...
And I'm not sure that using them still counts.
The elements of harmony.
Handling things on our own is all well and good, but last time we defeated some...
Oh, no. You're absolutely right. You need to learn how to...
If we're going to run Equestria, we'll need to handle things like this on our own.
Oh. One of us should probably loop in the real rulers of Equestria.
No. If we're going to run Equestria, No.
This'll work.
If we're going to run
Damn you, stream. Did I get disconnected again? I seriously hope not. I don't think I need those two. Alright, let's see how this will do.
Throughout the whole two-parter, Twilight neglected to have the princesses help confront Sombra, fearing that she wouldn't prove herself to be as good of a leader. Regardless of the episode, wouldn't prove herself to be as good of a leader. Regardless of the episode.
Let's see if we do. Come on.
Throughout the whole two-parter, Twilight neglected to have the princesses help confront Sombra, fearing that she wouldn't prove herself to be as good of a leader. Regardless of the episode's shortcomings, it is arguably redeemed as she owns up to her decisions, showing that she isn't entirely ready yet. This was a mistake the sisters made, thinking this showing that she isn't entirely ready yet. This was a mistake the sisters made, thinking she's got everything under control.
Let's go back to the end of part 2. No, I was just doing a joke. Sorry for the confusion. What's happening? Damn you, stream shakes fist. It happens, so. See, no problem, magical dude. I don't see any problem. I'm reading the chat and I don't see any problem.
Decided it may have been a bit unfair to thrust this upon Luna and I have decided it may have been a bit unfair to thrust this upon you without giving you the time you need to prepare.
Oh, thank goodness. I really wasn't ready.
Entirely ready yet. This was a mistake the sisters made, thinking she's got everything under control. It's admittedly stupid as it shows how incompetent the two leaders are. Then again, Celestia ruled over 1,000 years and is theoretically eager to pass the torch. And to their credit, the princesses and Star Swirl fought up the vine.
Damn it. Let's go learn to that other clip.
Then again, Celestia ruled over.
Here's an idea. We can.
Thank you so much for coming.
Longest period of harmony in
It's about time you noticed.
Thank you.
To retire.
Huh?
Breaking news! The royal princesses. Oh, fine. Go with the obvious choice.
You're retiring?
Princesses can retire?
Isn't it funny how the fandom had this godlike view of the princess, despite the fact that they've shown to be very flawed and not really as powerful as they seem? I'm not surprised at all. Let's see. That looks good. I got some serious lag. You're probably just hearing the sound of the audio because I'm using the second the second Sony window.
There has been a training program.
Hello credits on fast forward / time skip. Wait, is that what you're seeing? No, you're just seeing the other Alright, so I'm back over here. I need to take a look at this again. Let me get out of here. Crap.
Then again, Celestia ruled over 1,000 years and is theoretically eager to pass the torch. And to their credit, the princesses...
Alright. My little GoldenFoxStream editing is magic. Yeah, that's funny. Someone make a song parody or whatever for that. That's kind of overdoing it. Let's go to part 2. Let's see. Do.
As I could. I felt it when it happened. Like part of my...
Okay, Obi-Wan Star Swirled Kenobi.
Sorry. Oh, yeah! Go get him, Beauty!
Come on. What the hell? No. No diss on you, though. I quite enjoy editing. I didn't take anything offensive, so... Yay.
And to their credit, the princesses and Star Swirl fought up the vines as Twilight took the opportunity to make her way through the Canterlot Castle. So...
Alright.
Fought up the vines as Twilight... Fought up the vines as... Twilight... Twilight took the...
There we go.
as Twilight took the opportunity to make her way through the castle.
We could use it at the end of that clip, so... Oh, damn.
The vines as Twilight took the...
Okay.
Credit, the princesses and Star Swirl fought up the vines as...
I really don't like this one frame change.
The princesses and Star Swirl fought up the vines as Twilight took the opportunity to make her way through the castle.
That actually works very beautifully. Awesome. Save it so far. It's still the fucking morning.
A lot of action and suspense is well presented. A lot...
Ugh.
A lot of action and suspense is well presented. A lot of characters were given big roles, and the...
Ah! That's not what I meant to click.
Or Spike, or Starlight, or Angel, or any pony forced to do that monster's bidding.
I still don't get why Fluttershy cares so much for Angel. You know what? Never mind. And by the way, I have seen that episode where Fluttershy and Angel have their brains switched around. It's one of those switcheroo episodes, and despite the fact that Angel Bunny develops and learns things, I still can't fucking stand him.
A lot of characters were given big roles, and the whole setup for the final season is exciting to anticipate. And the whole...
Alright. Wait. What did I say here?
And the whole setup for the final season...
Okay. For a second there, I thought I misspoke and said, oh, and the series finale or some shit like that.
Well, I'm in. Dumplings will all need a complete adventure.
Oh, that's the opening.
Mm-hmm. With
Always prevailed.
Thank you, but that doesn't mean that we're ready to do what you do.
Oh, of course you are.
Thank you, but that doesn't mean that we're ready to do what you do.
Oh, of course you are.
For the final season is exciting to anticipate. At most, I love this premiere, but even with the hype factor that the trailer has... At most, I love this premiere, but even with the hype factor that the trailer has left us, there's still a lot of room for improvement. Not the worst premiere, but far from the best. It does what it needs to do to enter. Until next time.
Well, I think I took care of all the footage parts. So the one last thing to do is, what was it? Add in the OC. How far in am I? An hour and 42. Alright, awesome. Actually didn't see that episode with Angel and Flutter. I'm a few episodes behind. Oh, sorry for giving out spoilers. Whoops. Shit. Alright then. Looks like I don't need this anymore. The damn thing responds. No, don't save. Let's see. Oh, right. Come on. I made sure that was saved. Okay. Now. I'm going to get ready to import all the vectors. I don't need that. I don't need those two. Or that, or that, or that. Any of those sitting poses. I don't need that, or that, or that. Oh, yeah, I don't need those two. Alright. Time to throw in a shit ton of vectors. If the damn thing will respond. Are you fucking kidding me? This is the last thing I need right now. Am I going to upload when I finish it? Of course. I don't know if whether or not I'm going to schedule it. Because I normally like to schedule them to be released on Fridays or Saturdays. Ooh, wow. There we go. Okay. New video track.
It's hard to believe we're on the final season already. I'm not sure how to process.
Okay, so I can barely read these. Why did I even bother importing these? It's much clearer right here. Whoa! Wrong layer. Yeah, this one. Time to fix that. Here we go. In center. I'm going to rename it that so that I won't lose track. Alex, the program froze to the point where everything was turning white. That's what happened.
It's hard to believe we're on the final season already. I'm not sure.
This is the tedious part. Where is it? Yeah, not that one, this one.
I'm not sure how to process that because my channel has been
Alright, put you in.
because my channel has been so dedicated to this show. Granted, there's Gen.
Ah! Don't overlap that. Alright. There we go. I've already got these like little preset positions, so that way, you know, with all these different layers, it'll be easier for me to find, you know, different placements for like close shots and everything.
Granted, there's Gen 5 underway, but you never know. But you never know.
All right.
But you never know how successful that will turn out. Until then. Until then.
I think I know which one to go for. Ah, I scrolled up too much. Deadpanned. This I don't need. That I don't need. That I don't need. That I don't need. I don't think I need those two or that. There it is.
Until then, I still have some I still have some.
All right. Hello, Caleb.
I still have some unfinished business to take care of here. So, here's the beginning of the end.
All right. Let's go back to the center one. This one I may just like layer above because I'm not going to use it as often. Just a random question. Golden, do you like jokes? If they're funny, yeah.
So, here's the beginning. Here's the big. Here.
Sorry about that.
Here's the beginning of the end. The last season.
Let's go down a bit.
The last season premiere.
There we go. Scroll it in there, and boom. And that's the opening. It's a really, really big one. Insert a track. Let's see, what pose should I use for this? Actually. Whoa! That's not the right position. I gotta take care of that. There we go. I think a couple of jokes a while back. Do you call a bear with no ear? Earless bear? I don't know. Well, here we go with Pokemon Yellow flashbacks.
When I first saw the trailer for the premiere, I was admittedly getting choked up by the show reprise of the opening song, along with Celestia stating that she's going to be retiring, and Twilight is going and Twilight
There we go. Best match, are you ready? Build up. Great Shining Mammal. See, I watched your Leaving the Fandom video a while back and made some great friends in the fandom. And I'm not leaving this fandom, not by a long shot. Okay. Why must an octopus stay away from numbers? Because 8? I don't know. I know that the term octopus, or the octa term, or the portion of it, is a derivative of the ancient dialect that means 8. I'm not choosing my words correctly. I'm focusing too much on editing the video.
and Twilight is going to be taking the throne. And Twilight is going to be taking the throne for Equestria. And lo and behold, and lo and behold, that's how the episode starts. That's how no,
No.
That's how the episode starts. A lot of emotional weight is pushed straight in your face. A lot of development is...
To answer the first joke, B, a bear, B-E-A-R, with no E-A-R. Oh. Okay. Bees, not the bees. What the hell are you guys referencing bees over? Is it because of me making a joke about the games that I stream and I see fucking bees? Tentacles, get it? Tentacle. Oh, fucking.
However, having that mindset in this episode is also detrimental. However, having that mindset.
No.
Having that mindset in this episode is also detrimental.
Should I use this? There we go.
Is also detrimental as there are some issues. As there are. Mental as there are some issues. Fret not.
Yeah, the joke was cringe. I think that's the idea, Caleb. Oh, I just noticed my my second channel got another sub. So, yay. I suppose I should go over the I suppose I should go over the whole idea behind why I'm doing subscriber milestones and such. I mean, a lot of you would have been able to piece it together. My second channel, it cannot monetize anything until it reaches 1,000, and that's due to the change in the YouTube's algorithm. But if I'm going to try to get my channel to get up there, you know, I really should offer something in return. So I know I still have Freedom Planet to do, but I think I've already talked about that before, that I need like a new gamepad, which costs like at least $20 or something like that. I'll have to look up some information. Sorry about it's fine, Alex. They you know, they're not causing any harm to anybody, so.
Fret not. Fret not. I don't hate this episode.
There we go. What would be a good pose for that one? There goes an airplane.
Fret not. I don't hate this episode, but for what is, for what, but for what, but for what. Not. I don't hate this episode, but for what is it? But for what is suggested by the hype of the trailer, I will have to be more critical than usual.
Hey, Golden Fox, can you play GTA San Andreas? No, I cannot. Aside from the fact that I don't have a capture card, I have had no interest in Grand Theft Auto. I'm not a big fan of any kind of genre that involves having to play a criminal or anything like that. It's very rare that I would ever play a game where you star as a bad guy.
with the trailer, I will have to be.
Where are those front poses? There we go.
I will have to be more critical than usual. Twilight and her.
Alright, let's go ahead. I also need to prepare my stream for War Thunder. Let's see. What did you think of the episode Frenemies? I personally thought it was already best. I think it was a nice breath of fresh air compared to a lot of other episodes. Instead of, centering it on Twilight all the time, or some of the main six all the time, or somewhere outside of the group, it's a completely different different take on different characters to center on. And, that's a breath of fresh air right there. I'm kind of being repetitive because I'm not finding the right words when I'm focusing on my editing. I don't like playing as a criminal to Golden. What? Oh, I think you meant two. But there's L.A. Noire, which you play as a cop or detective. Okay, but that's not Grand Theft Auto, is it? Or is that some kind of mode or some kind of setup?
It's one of two major factors. It's one of.
Oh, God damn it. I hate that. No. There. Good thing I spotted it.
It's one of two major factors I can take from this.
GTA stories about being an anti-hero. Dude, you're grabbing people and throwing them out of a car, stealing cars, you're robbing banks, you're shooting and killing people, and hijacking other kinds of things. That's something a criminal would actually do. I'm sorry, but that's not my cup of tea.
It's one of two.
Alright, that one I'm gonna have to use at one point. And
it's one of two major factors. It's
No,
one of two major factors I can take from this. The questioning of her leadership, questioning of her, questioning. The questioning of her leadership and.
L.A. Noire is a GTA, but not playing as the criminal. Still not interested.
The questioning of her leadership and receiving the torch. The questioning of her leadership and receiving the torch. It all makes sense. It all.
Save so far.
It all makes sense as to how the show would bring closure.
I think I know what emoji to use. Yeah, there we go.
It all makes sense as to how the show would bring closure. I mean, if it just ends with Twilight and her friends right at.
Also, Super Kirby Clash on the Switch, along with Breath of Fire on the. Wait, what? I don't even know what you're talking about. Let's see. Well, some missions involve having to work with the police. So yeah, anti-hero, and you can make missions as a policeman, firefighter, or a medic. Dude, it doesn't change the fact that you're hijacking cars and stealing other material. Oh, Breath of Fire. Sorry, I got mixed up between that and Breath of the Wild.
Riding into the sunset, it would just be the same ending as all the other seasons. It would just be the
Which one would be fitting here? Doesn't work.
It would just be the same ending as all the other seasons.
Alright, save.
But for Twilight taking control of Equestria,
Where is it? I think it's called Pondering. I was like too far. Might try other SNES games added to the Switch. Yeah, I saw that they added the SNES games to this, to the said console.
but for Twilight taking control of Equestria, it does explain why Celestia picked her as her protege.
Just like San Andreas, because of different kinds of things you can choose to do from side of doing what Golden said. Doing races, target practice, changing your looks, and something more.
It does explain.
You know, it's funny. They added SNES games to the Switch, even though they had that little tiny Super NES Mini. Ask Golden, who is your least favorite villain in the show? My least favorite villain, despite that he made his return, it was Sombra.
It does explain why Celestia. It does explain why Celestia picked her as her protege in the beginning of the series. However, this being sudden with Twilight is part. However, this being. However, this being sudden with Twilight is part of the problem. It is part of the problem when I said that the episode expects me to take it seriously. There's so much for her. There's so much for her. There's so much for her to take in, especially when you acknowledge
There we go. At least he was written better than Cozy Glove for me. I can't stand her. Let's see. You can already guess who my least favorite villain was. Yes, Alex, we all know. Do Flume and Flam count? Because at this point, I don't even know. Magical Dude, I already stated out loud that despite how somber was written in this premiere, he's still my least favorite in the entire series.
And especially when you acknowledge.
Where's the face palm? Face palm. Face. There we go.
And especially when you acknowledge how quick she is to freak out over anything she's unprepared for. Over anything.
The other frustrated one. There it is.
Over anything she's unprepared for. It feels rather shoehorned to say the least. It feels rather shoehorned to say the least, and to try to create some development. For sisters by showing how flawed they can be. It does take effect at the end of the episode that they realize Twilight needs time. But the...
No! Damn it. There. GoldenFox uses facepalm and doesn't overkill? Favorite villain is Queen Chrysalis. Favorite villain is Starlight. Though, how many of you expect Chrysalis to be reformed? I do not expect Chrysalis to be reformed at all. She had her chance in the, to wearing back again. Speaking of SNES games being on the Switch, did you hear about Aladdin Lion King Remastered Bundle on the Switch? Yes, I did, actually. God, I really got to get myself a Switch. Like, it's been on my to-do list, but I just... It costs money. You know, I can only say that much.
But the setup for the sisters to... But the setup for the sisters' decision could have been written better. However, the support she has from her friends is a nice touch as the comedy. Along with that, having her friends eluding her past freakouts is admittedly hilarious.
Alright, I know which ones to use here.
Along with that, having her friends eluding her Having her friends eluding her past freakouts is admittedly hilarious. Past freakouts is admittedly hilarious.
Actually, let me see if I can.
Along with that, having her friends eluding her past freakouts is admittedly hilarious.
Classic Twilight.
So I really like that clip where Dash is recapping how Twilight freaks out. First you get big news, and then you're like, no! The Switch costs like $400, and you still need to start saving your money for your beefy computer. Yeah, no, there's a lot of things I had to save up money for.
Twilight Nanas was funnier and the best gift ever.
No.
Funnier and the Twilight Nanas was Twilight Nanas. Twilight Nanas was funnier and the best gift ever. Regardless, Twilight and her friends knowing.
Damn, I'm already 4 minutes in.
Regardless, Twilight and her friends.
Let's see.
Regardless, Twilight and her friends, knowing their past experiences, are ready to take any obstacle they face. This plays a much more noticeable role in Part 2. This is only the beginning, though. The second make. Regardless, Twilight and
Discord uses fourth wall break. It confuses everyone. Filed except for Pinkie Pie. What was that noise? I'll be back in just a sec. Ugh. Still haven't seen the best gift ever. Caleb, it's available somewhere online. You can watch it. Twilight or Twilight Nanas, but the clip you just did just answer right away. Yeah, no, Twilight Nanas sounds funnier. I wasn't going Twilight Nanas. Instead of just going classic Twilight, and I'm like, eh.
Twilight and her friends knowing. Twilight and her friends, knowing their past experiences, are ready to take any obstacle they face. Ready to take any. Are ready to. Are ready. Are ready to.
And now you upload the post show. Oh yeah, that's right. The post show is up. I forget that I forget that I backlog a lot of these those Let's Play videos up on there. How long have I been streaming for? Almost 2.5 hours. I think I could just go ahead and call this a day, and maybe find another day to you know, stream another one of these editing streams. So I hope you guys like that I was streaming on the second channel instead of using my Twitch. You know, just to try something a little interesting. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys for joining in. Hopefully I can present myself much better the next time I do one of these streams. And hopefully you guys, have a better time watching me work on some of these. That being said, sometime later today, Keyframe is going to be doing, or is going to be involved into a stream where she's, I think it's going to be Fallout or something. Hold that thought. Well, that's not awkward at all. Yeah, sometime later today, Keyframe is going to be hosting a stream of Fallout New Vegas for a few hours, and then sometime later afterwards, I'm going to be back on my Twitch channel where I'm going to be hosting another podcast. So hopefully around that time, things will be, set in stone. Can't make promises, but I do hope that the podcast goes well. So, well, I also hope that, Keyframe's Fallout Vegas thing also goes well. I'm talking too much. I'll catch you guys later. Expect this video to be done very soon. I'm just going to upload it immediately because it's needed to be up a while ago. Anyways, catch you later.